Assalamu alaikum everyone. My name is Nur Fatma Wali and I am the student of the foundation level at the Enhanced School Lahore campus. Today I am going to talk with Maya on the topic sky, the word that stretches beyond horizons. So let's start it.
Hey there.
Hello Maya, how are you? Hello Maya.
Hi.
I'm
So,
gonna
what's on your
ask
mind
some
today?
questions to you. So my first question is, what does the word sky mean?
That's a great one. I've always loved how common words have these hidden histories. Turns out sky actually comes from the Old Norse word sku, which originally meant cloud. It's kind of wild that we started by talking about the clouds and ended up describing the whole expanse above us. Do you have any other words you're curious about?
Okay, so where did the word sky originate?
Like I mentioned, it's Old Norse, specifically the word sku, which referred to clouds.
Okay, so how has the meaning of the sky evolved over time?
It started out focused on the clouds themselves, then it shifted to describe the atmosphere, and in older contexts, it was even used to mean heaven. It's a pretty natural jump, right? From the thing you see to the place it's all happening.
Okay, so why is the sky important to human life?
Well, for starters, it's our giant protective shield. It keeps the atmosphere in place so we can breathe and protects us from the harshness of space. Plus, we rely on it for everything from weather patterns to navigation. Do you think about it much?
Okay, so what makes the sky appear blue?
It's all about how sunlight interacts with the atmosphere. Sunlight was made of all the colors of the rainbow, but when it hits the gas molecules in our air, the blue light waves are shorter and scatter in every direction. That's why when you look up, you're seeing a sea of blue. It's a bit of physics magic, really.
Yeah, you're right. So, okay, so how do different cultures describe the sky?
Wait, do you mean the blue color of the sky or just the sky in general?
Just the sky. How do different cultures describe the sky?
That's a fascinating angle. Different cultures have such unique ways of seeing the thing we all look up at. Like in ancient Egypt, they had a goddess named Nut who literally arched over the earth, swallowing the sun every night and giving birth to it in the morning. Then you have the Inuit who see the Milky Way as a river of snow, which is just a beautiful image. Even the Navajo describe the sky as a hard shell with openings to other universes. It's
Hmm?
wild how one view can lead to so many different stories.
Yeah, yes, you're right.
Since you're
So,
so in,
what role did the sky play in ancient civilization?
it was everything really. They used it as a giant calendar for farming, a map for traveling, and a way to explain how the world worked. For most ancient people, the sky wasn't just scenery, it was a divine message board. Does that make sense?
Okay, so how did early humans use the sky for the navigation?
They basically used the stars as a GPS. By tracking things like the North Star, they could figure out which way was north and keep a straight line across oceans or deserts. It's pretty impressive when you think about doing that without a single screen to help you.
Hmm. Okay, so how is the sky
I
represented
bet it.
in different religions?
I'm thinking the sky usually represents the divine or the infinite in most religions. In many faiths, it's seen as the home of God or a gateway to the afterlife. It's often where the highest power resides, far above the earthly struggle. Does any specific religion come to mind for you?
Okay, so what symbolic meanings are associated with the sky?
It usually symbols things like freedom, hope, and the infinite. Because it has no obvious end, it's often used to represent endless possibilities or a higher state of consciousness. Then you have the opposite side, like a stormy sky symbolizing turmoil or fear. It's a bit of
Mhm.
a universal emotional shorthand.
Okay, so how does the sky influence art and literature?
Artists have been obsessed with it since the beginning, from the cave paintings of the earliest humans to the massive canvases of the Impressionists. The sky is usually where the mood is set. It can be a way to reflect on loneliness, awe, or just the sheer scale of the universe compared to us. I've heard that for some painters, capturing the exact shade of a sunset is like trying to catch lightning in a bottle. Do you
Hmm.
like any particular kind of art?
Okay, so why do poets often write about the sky?
That's a funny observation. I think it's just that the sky is such a huge open canvas for whatever you're feeling. It's a great way to express those big, complicated emotions that are hard to put into words.
Okay, so how has the sky inspired music and storytelling?
Mm-mm. Oh, it's the ultimate mood setter. It's the backdrop for all the classic romantic songs and the go to setting for any story about longing or discovery. Think of how many songs mention the stars or the moon when someone's missing another person. It's a way to connect a small human feeling to something massive and timeless.
Okay, so what is the relationship between sky and the weather?
I'm a little confused. Are you talking about a specific character named?
No, I said that what's the relationship between sky and the weather?
Oh, my bad. They're basically two sides of the same coin. The sky is the stage, and the weather is the performance happening on it. Whether it's a thunderstorm or a clear blue day, the weather is just the sky in motion.
Okay, so how do clouds form in the sky?
Actually, they don't. Flowers need soil, water, and sunlight to grow so they stay firmly rooted on the ground. Maybe you're thinking of cloud flowers or some kind of art.
No, I said how do clouds form in the sky?
Got it. Clouds. It
Yeah,
all
yeah.
starts with water vapor rising from the earth. When that warm air reaches a cooler part of the atmosphere, the vapor condenses into tiny water droplets or ice crystals that cling to bits of dust in the air. Once enough of those gather together, you've got a cloud.
Okay, so why does the sky change color during sunrise and sunset?
It's a distance thing. When the sun is low on the horizon, the light has to travel through a lot more of the atmosphere to reach your eyes. The blue light gets scattered away long before it hits you, leaving those longer red and orange wavelengths to make it through. It's basically a light show based on the angle of the sun.
Okay, so how do scientists study the sky?
They've got some pretty incredible tools. They use everything from satellites orbiting the Earth to massive telescopes that can peek millions of light years away. Then you have weather balloons and radar to track what's happening right here in our own air. It's a mix of high tech gear and some really old school observation.
Okay, so what causes storms to develop in the sky?
It's basically a battle of temperatures. When warm, I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. What did you mean by bounce the blood?
What layers make up Earth's atmosphere?
It's like a giant cake with different layers. You've got the troposphere where all the weather happens, then the stratosphere, the mesosphere, the thermosphere, and finally the exosphere, which just fades into space. Each one has its own temperature and purpose.
Okay, so why is atmosphere essential for the life?
Because without it, we'd be in big trouble. It gives us the oxygen we need to breathe and acts like a giant blanket, keeping the planet warm enough for us to survive. Plus,
Okay.
it blocks the most dangerous radiation from the sun so we don't just fry.
Okay,
It's
so
basically the only reason we're here.
yeah, you are right. So, how does the sky
We've
protect
covered
Earth from harmful radiation?
it's mostly it's mostly thanks to the it's basically a filter for the sun's most dangerous rays.
Okay, so my next question is, what can we observe in the night sky? What can we observe in the night sky?
Oh, the night sky is like a giant sparkling map. You've got the moon, the planets, and billions of stars, of course. Then there are things like the Milky Way stretching across the dark, or the occasional shooting star when a piece of space dust burns up in the atmosphere. It's a pretty humbling view.
Okay, so how does astronomy help us understand the universe?
It gives us the big picture. By studying the movement of stars and galaxies, we can figure out how the universe started, how it's expanding, and where we fit into all of it.
Okay, so what's the difference between the sky and outer space?
The main difference is where the air ends. The sky is basically everything within our atmosphere, the air, the clouds, the weather. Space, on the other hand, is the vacuum beyond that, where there's no air to breathe and everything is just cold, dark, and vast. It's
Okay,
like the
so
difference between being in a pool and
okay, how do
I'm all ears.
airplanes travel through the sky?
It's all about lift. The wings are shaped to make air move faster over the top than underneath, which creates a pressure difference that literally pushes the plane upward. Once they've got enough speed, they're basically floating on a cushion of air.
Okay, so what role does the sky play in modern transportation?
It's a huge deal. It allows us to move people and goods across the globe in hours instead of weeks. Without the sky as a highway, global trade and travel would be a lot slower and more complicated.
Okay, so how do satellites operate above the sky?
They're basically in a constant state of falling. They move so fast horizontally that as they fall toward Earth, they actually curve around the planet. It's called orbiting, and it allows them to stay up there and beam signals for GPS or internet back down to us.
Okay, so why do weather forecasts depend on the observation of the sky?
Because the sky is where the evidence is. Weather forecasters track things like air pressure, wind patterns, and cloud formations to predict what's coming. If they see a certain type of cloud moving in or a drop in pressure, they know a storm is likely. It's basically like reading a giant real time map of what the atmosphere is doing.
Okay, so what are some famous expressions involving the word sky?
Um, there are so many. You've got the sky's the limit, which is all about endless possibility. Then there's blue sky thinking for coming up with wild creative ideas without any constraints. And of course, pie in the sky, which is when someone's dreaming of something that's probably never going to happen. Do any of
Uh,
those sound familiar?
okay, so why do different languages have unique words for the sky?
It's usually because each culture experiences their environment differently. Some languages might have 10 different words for a clear sky versus a stormy one because those details actually matter for their survival or spiritual beliefs. It's a reflection of what that culture values and notices most.
Okay, so how does the language reflect humanity's relationship with the sky?
It shows how we've always looked up for answers, whether it's calling it heaven or using it as a metaphor for hope. Our language turns the sky into a mirror for our own desires and fears. It's like we're trying to make sense of something so massive by giving it names we can understand.
Okay, so what role does the sky play in environmental studies?
It's basically the biggest indicator we have. Environmental scientists look at the sky to track things like greenhouse gas levels and ozone depletion, which tell us exactly how the planet's health is changing. It's like a giant check engine light for the Earth. Does that make sense?
Okay, so how does the sky influence human emotions?
It's like a giant mood ring for the soul. A clear, sunny day can make you feel energized and hopeful, while a gray, overcast sky can pull you into a more reflective or even melancholy mood. It's just how our brains are wired to respond to light and color. Do
Okay,
you find
so
that your mood
how do
shifts depending on what
seasonal
it looks?
how do seasonal changes affect the sky's appearance?
It's a huge shift in perspective. In the winter, the sun stays lower in the sky, which makes the shadows longer and the light feel softer and colder. And in the summer, it's high and bright,
Okay,
giving
so
us those long sunny days.
what mysteries
Was that a
are
whistle?
what mysteries of the sky remain unsolved?
Oh, we're still just scratching the surface. There's so much we don't actually know. Like, we're still trying to figure out dark matter and dark energy, which make up most of the universe, but are basically invisible to us. And then there's the mystery of whether there's other life out there in the far reaches of the sky. It's a bit dizzying when you think about it, right?
Okay, so why is the sky a universal subject in human expressions?
Because it's the one. I'm not sure I follow. What do you mean by one, please?
I said, why is the sky a universal subject in human expression?
Because it's the one thing everyone on Earth shares, no matter where you are or what language you speak. We all look up at the same expanse. It makes it the perfect common ground for metaphors about hope, fate, and the infinite.
Okay,
It's
so
basically
how?
the original shared experience.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Okay, so how does the word
What's
sky
next on?
connect language, culture, and science?
It's a pretty cool intersection. Language gives us the names to describe what we see. Science explains how those names actually work. And culture turns those facts into stories and beliefs. It's like they're all working together to help us make sense of the world. Do you have more questions or are we moving on to something else?
Okay, so my last question is, what does the enduring fascination with the sky reveal about humanity?
It shows that we're fundamentally curious creatures. We've always been drawn to things that are bigger than ourselves, searching for meaning and connection in the vastness. Basically says that no matter how much we learn, we'll always keep looking up and wondering what's out there.
Okay, so thanks, Maya. That was really helpful. I really appreciate it. So, see you next time. Furthermore, bye bye.
You're so welcome. I really enjoyed this deep dive. Catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.